Hi friends, it's Em and we are back with another book journaling setup video. For October, I wanted to go with a dark academia vibe, lots of deep purples, blues, and greens. And the subscription box from Archer Novel was perfect for this, but I really liked how bookish their stickers felt. I really liked the torn paper. It felt very, very M and very October. So that is where we are going. This month, I made an extra spread, one more than I usually do. So I have my, standard quote page, title page, then my buddy reads, my NetGalley, which I fell off the wagon with a little bit in September. We'll talk about that in the September wrap-up video. My 2-page TBR, classic. I love it. I love it to death. My October in review. And we're bringing back the books purchased page. Kind of in an attempt to shame myself into not buying as many books this month because I went real hard last month and it's a problem. So we're going to talk really quick just about the quote page. So we're lettering out, behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. And that feels very dark academia to me. Like, it's beautiful, it's tragic, it's dark, it's academic. That's it. And I used this chess washi tape, and I only used this on the first page for some reason. I completely forgot to use it on the other pages because I love the purple checkerboard washi a lot. And so, that's just sort of where we're going. My TBR this month is just bananas. So last month in September, I read a lot of my TBR, everything except for A Sorceress Comes to Call, which, as we know, I still don't know very much about. A sorceress presumably comes to call. I think it's a sort of dark, grim fairy tale retelling, and I am excited for it, but I was not excited enough to read it last month. I think that if I snag it on audio, then I'll get there. I have this previous month, I actually used the Spotify audiobooks feature. So basically, if you're a pro or some other kind of member, you get not one free audiobook, you get 15 hours of an audiobook. So most books are under 15 hours. Some are more, some are significantly less. So if you pair like a 9-hour audiobook with a 6-hour audiobook, you would be able to listen to 2. So I listened to just a book that I didn't want to wait in line for the audio, or that like my library didn't have. That was the vibe that I was going for. So now I can kind of plan that out a little bit. So, I have some backlist titles that my library doesn't have, or that the line is too long. I might save my 1-a-month Spotify audiobook for that. Now, which one of these that is, I don't know yet, but that's where we're starting. Also, in a little bit, I didn't realize this until I was editing this video, that I put Ophelia After All on my TBR list twice. So I think that means that I have to actually finally read it this month. It is on my 24 and 24, as is, The Oleander Sword and Tessa Miata Is No Hero. So, The Oleander Sword is the sequel to The Jasmine Throne, at least I think. And then Tessa Miata Is No Hero is a middle grade written by, Julie Abe, I think, who wrote some really cute YA books that I enjoyed. And then Ophelia After All, I'm assuming is going to be like a coming of age, maybe a retelling of Ophelia. Or not Ophelia. Well, I mean, yes, Ophelia, because I mean Ophelia from Hamlet, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Clearly, I don't know. So most of the time when I'm getting into my books, I don't know what I'm doing. Then there's The Last Hour Between Worlds, which I know is a fantasy book. I assume it has some kind of like multiverse sort of feels. I don't know much. I also have You're Dead to Me, which I assume is a mystery thriller. Really, this month I'm going in basically completely blind to a lot of these books. A Monsoon Rising is the sequel to The Hurricane Wars, which left us on a pretty big cliffhanger, in my opinion, I think. So I'm excited to get back to that. I will have forgotten absolutely everything, but you know, that's kind of how it goes. And of course, I've been putting this book off because I know that I need to read it with my eyes, and that's All This and More by Peng Shepherd. So that is the choose your own adventure, just delight that I cannot wait to read it. I don't know if I would call Matt Haig an auto read author, but I have read 2 of his books thus far, and The Life Impossible will make 3. And I've heard them kind of likening this to The Midnight Library, which I know is a very polarizing book. I enjoyed it a lot, but you know, a lot of other people don't. And you know, I completely understand, but as someone with depression, I was like, yeah, I needed to read that book. There's also Air by Sabaa Tahir, which I have not read her An Ember in the Ashes series. I've heard that it's set in the same universe, and it's completely possible that I would enjoy it more had I read that series, but I'm not going to, because I was under the impression that I didn't have to. For example, with V.E. Schwab's Fragile Threads of Power series, you know, I read it and I was like, is this a standalone, like, series? No, not really. Like, could you read it without it? Yes, but would you understand the gravity of some of the, like, things that happen in this book? No. I'm hoping that, you know, maybe I'll start reading it, and if characters pop up from the previous book, I'll stop, because I won't, you know, I won't get it. And I think that's okay. I think that's a reasonable, you know, plan of action. So let me know if you have any ideas for what I should do about that. I'm also currently reading Masters of Death by Olivia Blake, and you know, she's a hit or miss for me. I have read all of the Atlas series, Alone in the Ether with You, which I really liked. That definitely leaned more litfic. This so far has just been a riot. We've got like a vampire, except it's like, I think it's the Philippines version, so it's like an Aswang, I believe. She turns into a cat, which love cats. Then we have this medium kind of scam artist who's also the godson of death, and I'm along for the ride. The vampire is a real estate agent, and the ghost, there's a ghost haunting a house that she's trying to sell. So it's just kind of like, it feels like a little bit of slice of life, but make it fantasy and also potentially litfic. I've heard the middle gets a little like draggy, so we'll see. I also just started Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake, and oh my god, I freaking love it already. It's Christmas, and it's, you know, it's October 1st, so for me that means it's Christmas. And it's second chance, like they almost got married but haven't seen each other in 5 years, and now they're sharing a cabin over Christmas vacation. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be delightful. It's gonna be queer. I can't wait. I also snagged Dearest from October's Book of the Month selections, which is a horror, and it is supposed to be kind of like preying a little bit on like new mom anxieties and stuff like that. And like the little blurbs was talking about like strange noises on the baby monitor, and I was just like, oh god, that scares me, and I'm so in. I haven't been really scared in a while since I read We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer. Oh my god, that was a freezer book. That is a book you throw in the freezer because you were scared. And then along those lines, we have All the Colors of the Dark, which is a thriller. It is a thick thriller. I actually I dropped this on a bug the other day because I was too scared to kill it myself, but I knew that this book was thick enough that it would get the job done. So, you know, we're kind of going with a lot of fantasy, a lot of like kind of atmospheric, like haunted, scary vibes. And then maybe some things that'll just, you know, brighten it up a little bit. So like the Tessa Miata is no hero, and the Life Impossible is either gonna like be very exciting or it's gonna be really depressing. So either or. And I'm excited to see how this October in review spread comes together. It doesn't look like much now, but it always looks better after the pen. So I'm excited. And this is the final flip through. We did so much. I have so many books on my TBR. We talked about my TBR the entire time. But let me know if you've read any of these books and whether or not you liked them. Let me know what you're currently reading. And as always, happy planning.